Hi everyone, in this video I'll give you a quick overview about Microsoft Clarity, how to set it up, and what feature does it have and how to use them. So let's start by the integration step or the setup step. So when you sign up for Microsoft Clarity, you will be directed to a similar interface, but it's not that one. I'm saying this one because I have already configured my account, but you'll get the same settings. So the first thing that you would be asked is installing Clarity. There are a couple of methods installing Clarity, but let's go through the quickest and easiest one, which is the manual option. So you can click on the get tracking code, and once you get the tracking code, you will see this snippet. So you can copy the whole thing, and then if you go to your Google Tag Manager container, create a new tag in Google Tag Manager, select custom HTML as the type, and just paste the script. And now add the trigger to be all pages and give it a name and save. That would be it. This is how you can install Clarity on your website in a few moments. Additionally, or alternatively, you can actually try other methods, which is the native integration option. So if you use platforms like Shopify, WordPress, Wix, and others, you can actually plug and play Clarity using these native integrations. So if you hit the View All platform here from the integration menu, you'll be able to see all the native integration that they have access or that they have with Clarity, including actually Google Tag Manager. So if you clicked on Google Tag Manager, you can just connect your GTM container and it will create a similar tag from what we have just created. But yeah, for now, let's go back and check the other settings. So one other thing that you probably need to do is connecting your Google Analytics account or property to your account. So all the data that you have inside Google Analytics are available in Clarity, and we'll get to this point in a few moments. The second thing within the second settings is the masking feature. So Clarity, one of the features from Clarity is the ability to record user sessions and heat maps. So you wouldn't want to record all the stuff that the user is seeing, like the payment method or the products or some other information. So that's totally up to you, but it's always best to have the balanced option where Clarity will blur the images and text. You can increase this to strict, which will blur out all the text, or relaxed, which will not actually blur much data. The second or the third option is the IP blocking. So you would need to add your office. If you're working with a team and you have a physical office, you want to block your IP address from being tracked in Clarity to avoid recording your local team members' sessions and data to only get the user data. And if your team is working remotely or have multiple locations, you should add each office or each person's IP address to the exclusion list over here to avoid tracking them by mistake. The next feature is funnels, which is actually similar to what we used to have in Universal Analytics and Google Analytics before it was sunset. So you can actually create some funnels so you can visualize within Clarity reports that we will see in a minute. So for example, here I have a basic funnel where I'm tracking all the users who visit product pages, but you can actually edit the steps over here and add additional steps. So maybe the first step is products, so you can see all the users who visited a product page, then the add to cart or the cart page, then the thank you page where the users places orders, so you can see all the funnel details. Next is smart events, where you can basically create events that are not predefined or defined out of the box by Clarity. So as you can see here, I have lots of events that are coming from my demo website, like the add to cart, begin checkout, and many more. And if you see defined by, you would see that it is defined by Clarity. So if we filter down defined by user, you can see that that's the smart event. So I have created this test event, which you can create by simply clicking on new event, and then you can either select like an option or an event from these or start from scratch. But honestly, they're the same, they're not that different. So you can use a button click or page visits. So for button click, you can use the button text, like the button that has the delete, camera, anything that you have on the website. Clarity will be able to capture it, and you will be able to use as a trigger for a custom event. Just an FYI, the Clarity integration might take some time to populates data like this one, like a day or two maximum. But when you first create the account, it will look pretty empty. So don't freak out and just wait for Clarity to collect more data about that. So yeah, that's the whole or like the most important settings within Clarity and how you can install it. Now let's head to Microsoft Clarity demo property, which I'll leave the link to it in the video description as well, in case you want to check it out as well. So yeah, that data is all from the Clarity demo website or some of the Microsoft website. That doesn't really matter. It's just like to show you how the data looks like. So Clarity have three main sections within the report or the reporting. So the first one is the dashboard, which shows you lots of useful metrics and dimensions about the user, like user overview, how many users are on the website lively, and unique user count. And of course, you can select a specific data range and all of the data will change accordingly. You can also select a custom data range from here. So if we selected this from the 1st of July to the 10th and then hit apply, all of that data would be changed based on the data that happened during that date range. You can also create segments, but since I don't have enough access within this property, I will not have the ability to create segments. That's why I have my demo website over here where I have connected Clarity to it. So if we go to dashboards and then clicked on filters, we will have the ability to filter with more details. So for example, if we did the last 3 days and then the traffic source, let's see what we have is Google, for example, and hit apply. Once we do that, we will have the option to save this as a segment. So if we clicked on save as segment, Clarity will ask us if we want to update an existing segment with these settings or save as new. So we're gonna select save as new, and then for example we can name this source equal Google last 3 days and hit save. Once we do that, we will have this segment saved on our account, and then we can save it or use it in the future later on. So if you clicked here, you would see that the segment has been created, and also I have this other segment that I have created earlier. Now let's go back to the Clarity demo dashboard and continue looking into the data. So we have here some insights about the users. This is the percentage of rage clicks. So rage clicks, whenever the user clicks on a specific section many times, this means that's a rage click. Dead click is any click that is clicked by the user, but it doesn't do anything. So for example, if I clicked on that empty space over here, that would consider as dead click. And yeah, here comes the smart events. So these are smart events that are defined by the Clarity admin users. We can see them over here, and we can see the number of sessions. If you toggle this toggle, you'll have the percentage instead of numbers. This is the one of the funnels that Clarity demo account has. So that's a download funnel. We can see the conversion rate, session converted, and median time to convert. This has also some useful dimensions like the refer, channel, campaign source, similar to what we have in GA4. Then we have the device type. So that's a pie chart showing us all the devices, browsers, and then devices, operating system, and country. And yeah, that's one of the coolest thing that they have. They have a performance score of the website, how the website is loading, how many seconds does it take for the largest content on the website to load. So for example, here it is 5 seconds and has the value of war. And yeah, there is also some JavaScript error indication that you can see over here. And if you clicked on recordings, it would show you when this happened and what type of issues that the user encountered. So you can send these recordings to your development team so they can put a fix to these JavaScript errors. Bot traffic, I'm not honestly sure how they evaluate bot traffic, but yeah, this card shows you basically how much of traffic is considered as bot traffic or suspicious traffic that are not mainly bots. So yeah, when you have your own dashboard, things will be a bit different. So if I open my dashboard and then look at the things that I can do here, I can add some matrices or some segments to the watch list, so I can see the most important matrices, the homepage, without the need of applying the segments or whatsoever. Then when I hover above the dashboard, there is a Google Analytics option. So if we click on that, what Clarity will do is that it will show us the data from our Google Analytics dashboard. in the interface. So here we can see the number of sessions and session duration, traffic channel, and the source medium data from our Google Analytics property. And then we can also change the date range of each report. So that was the first thing, which is the dashboard section. And that's by the way how or why you need to connect your Google Analytics property here. So you can kind of get some data over here, which is helpful in some cases. The next feature is the recording feature, which is really similar to what Hotjar does if you're familiar with Hotjar. So basically, with Hotjar, you can record sessions and do pretty similar stuff. But the difference is that Microsoft Clarity is actually 100% free as we're talking right now. I'm not sure if this will continue in the future. Maybe it will. They will move to paid plan. But yeah, if we open the Clarity demo website and then click on recordings, let's refresh and see if we have any recordings. So we have some. So you can also apply segments on that section as well. You can also change the date range. So if we check this recordings, for example, we can see what happened with that user. We can see that the user is from Germany. That session was on Chrome from BC, and the user ID of the user. And then we can see how the user have interacted to the website and which clicks have that user clicked. And pro tip, with the recording feature or the recording section, you can also segment users based on the type of clicks. And if you actually go back here, and then, for example, if you wanted to see where and why these rage clicks happen, you can click on this recording icon over here, and it will direct you to the recording option, but it will automatically apply filter for the rage clicks. So as you can see here, this is now added automatically. Rage clicks equal to yes or set to yes. So if we check this session, for example, it was from Brazil using Edge on PC. And you can see all the clicks that happen over here. So here is the rage click. As you can see, it's marked with that toggle. So if we click here, just to see what happened. So as you can see, the user clicked on several clicks that are not doing anything. So that's a rage click. So that's the second, or that was the second feature from Microsoft Clarity. That's the third and final option over here is heat maps. So you can still filter with segments and you can add more details over here. So let's see, but since we don't have enough access and all of the pages are on the home page, I assume on Microsoft Clarity, we can just use that option. And as you can see, we can see several areas where the user have clicked or interacted with. And from this chart over here, or that information, you can see that the most popular is in the red color and the least popular is with the blue color. So all of these are clicks, or the red dots over here are the highest clicked elements on the home page from Clarity. The least one are blue ones, and the medium one is in green. You can also take a screenshot of that if you want to share it with someone from your team. You can also change that to the scroll option. So the scroll option will also show you where is the most viewed part of the of any page. So red indicates the highest value. So most of the users, or 89% of the users, view that part only. If you scroll down, you can see that this is the list where the users use. And if we scroll, yeah, we don't have any blues. So that indicates that the majority of users are just like viewing that first part, but we have a decent amount of users who still scroll to the bottom of the page. Now we have also the attention chart. So let's explore this together. So the attention chart as written here, this shows us how much time users spend on each part of the page. So it turns out that this part of the page, the average spend time is 20 seconds, which is 3.7% of the total session length. If we scroll down a bit, we can see that the rate changes with us, which is really awesome. So yeah, that was the final feature of Clarity. And yeah, overall, I think Microsoft Clarity is a very cool product to use and a very useful tool when trying to understand the user behavior, not just looking at the numbers and how many custom events were triggered or how many behavior events were triggered. You can also see how the users are actually interacting with the website, along with all the metrics and dimensions that are needed. And the best part is that it is still 100% free. which is makes it more cool. So yeah, again, I have put in the demo property for clarity, or the demo account, in the description. And if this is the first time that you ever see me, my name is Ahmed. I'm a web analyst specialist. I have my own web analytics community. It's paid community on School. If you want to get courses, hands-on experience, support on your questions or the stuff that you're working on a daily basis, and also have a bi-weekly webinars with myself and my co-founder Vishal Gore on the community. You can join the community right now from the link in the description. And yeah, I post a free content on this YouTube channel on a weekly basis. So if you want to stay updated, make sure to subscribe to the channel so you get notified whenever I post something new. If you have any comments, or if you want to suggest future content, please drop them in the comment section so I can get back to you. This was Ahmed, and yeah, see you in the next video.